Wildcats will spotlight the many talents of Kenny Walker, a man who continues to stand tall in the midst of an otherwise frustrating season. Tennessee will answer with a much more balanced attack, featuring the play of its guards, senior Michael Brooks and sophomore Tony White. A sellout crowd has gathered to watch both teams as they fight for survival in the tight Southeastern Conference basketball race.
CBS Sports presents NCAA basketball. Today's game between the Kentucky Wildcats and the Tennessee Volunteers is sponsored by Chevrolet, who invite you to see, drive, and live today's Chevrolet. U.S. Armed Forces, it's a great place to start. And by light beer from Miller, everything you've always wanted in a beer, and less.
It is a somewhat raucous sellout crowd that has gathered in Stokely Center on the campus of the University of Tennessee for this significant Southeastern Conference basketball clash between Kentucky and the Volunteers. Significant in this sense that these two teams are still in the thick of what has evolved into a dogfight of a conference race. Mississippi State on top, but Tennessee and Kentucky both with 4 and 3 records. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Knoxville, Tennessee. I'm Vern Lundquist along with Steve Grody. Steve, it's unusual enough to see a Kentucky team at 9 and 7 at this point of the year, but even given that, it's a different kind of Kentucky basketball team.
Well, it really is. I think that they're a lot quicker and faster than most Kentucky teams of recent history. A much better defensive team. Their problems have come on the offensive end, where as a team, other than Kenny Walker, no starter shoots above 45% from the field, primarily because Winston Bennett and James Blackman are still trying to get over knee injuries.
They have evolved into a one-man outfit of a sort, with Kenny Walker leading the way. Now, that's usually what we see from Tennessee. Now we've got a much more balanced Tennessee squad.
Well, right. Most SEC fans will remember the Dale Ellis years where all they did was take the ball inside. It's a very difficult team to defend. They shoot so well from the perimeter that they can beat a zone. But with the 3-guard lineup that they use, they're very tough to match up with in a man-to-man defense. Kentucky's got their hands full.
And that adds to a significant matchup, as we said. It really ought to be a heck of a contest today. We've got the sellout crowd gathered, so settle back. It's Kentucky versus Tennessee, live on CBS from Knoxville. The final year of the Stokely Athletics Center in Knoxville. They are building a brand new facility that will have seating capacity of 25,000. Lineups for today, Kentucky and Tennessee. First of all, Kenny Walker, number 34, and Winston Bennett at forwards, Brett Barup at the center, James Blackman and Roger Harden at the guards. And for the University of Tennessee, Anthony Richardson at 1 forward spot. Rob Jones is the center, and they go with a 3-guard offense. Fred Jenkins, Michael Brooks, and Tony White. The officiating crew today, Don Shea from Atlanta, Georgia, Don Rutledge from Orlando, Florida, and Mike Tanko from Dallas, Texas. Mike Tanko was one of the officials who worked the championship game last year between Georgetown and Houston. Steve?
Vern, we touched on the knee injuries to Blackman and Bennett. Blackman yesterday had an excellent practice, jumped well, shot well. They say his knee is basically completely rehabilitated. He's getting close to regular form. However, Winston Bennett's knee, they're saying he's playing at about 75%. He still suffers from the lack of explosive jumping ability, which really his game starts with and ends with. So they need a big offensive game from him to be in this one today.
Tennessee, as you see the home records, is one of the few teams in the Southeastern Conference that has handled Kentucky well on its own court. As a matter of fact, the record of the last 13 years is 1-11 for Kentucky here.
But you know something? What Tennessee has always had going for them in this matchup is this. First of all, Kentucky's always been nationally ranked and the leader in the conference when they've come in here. And Tennessee has always had the advantage in quickness, speed, and defense. That situation no longer exists. Tennessee is supposed to win this game. I say the pressure now is off of Kentucky, and it's more on Tennessee in this one.
There is a slight delay, and the reason for the delay is some debris that had gotten on the court, and the officials are getting extra duty here. Mike Tanko walked by and said, well, we need a couple of brooms and we'll be set to go. Now we're ready.
But I'll tell you what, though, you know, this is the ideal setting for a college basketball game. It's fun when you pretend like the teams don't really like each other. And I'll tell you what, this has become as heated a rivalry as there is in the country.
It kind of reminds me of Michigan, Indiana when you were at Michigan.
Exactly. And that's what I miss about not playing, getting to play Indiana. We played them 10 times while I was there in 4 years. Just the intense competition is what makes it.
Kenny Walker, leading scorer in the Southeastern Conference with a 22.6 points per game average over the full year, and he's up that even more in conference play, and Walker gets the tip. Blackman gives it off to Roger Harden from Valparaiso, Indiana. Into the corner. Kenny Walker, see how much they look to get him the ball.
Well, you can see Tennessee will be in that man-to-man defense. They won't get out of it unless they start getting hurt inside or they get in foul trouble. Obviously, the key matchup is Jones on Walker.
Harden takes the first shot of the game. Rob Jones gets the rebound, and Tennessee is on offense for the first time. It is a three-guard offense, but they will operate with either White or Michael Brooks out on the point. Now it's Tony White with the ball. Looks back for Fred Jenkins. Quickly underneath. Turnaround shot taken by Richardson. Won't fall. Harden with a rebound, and Walker gets it. And Kentucky on the run. Bounce pass in the corner, taken by Blackman. Walker, turnaround jumper, up and in.
Well, Kenny Walker is scoring about 20-some points a game. The next leading scorer is getting about 8.5 points a game. Walker will get so many of his points in the set offense. He runs the floor well. He's getting offensive rebounds, putting them back in. He's doing a little bit of everything.
Kentucky's problem, as the foul is called underneath, has been one of inability to get the ball in the hole. They are shooting less than 50% for the year and have had only about 4 games in which they have shot better than 50%.
As Joe Hall told us yesterday, in one ball game alone this year, they missed 24 shots from in the lane. That's unheard of.
2-0 score early in the game. Skip pass back to Tony White. He'll pass in the shop as Harden harasses him just a little bit.
Kentucky in the zone defense from the out-of-bounds play underneath their basket. They started man-to-man. We talked about some possible matchup problems, primarily with Barrett.
Jenkins misfires on the shot. Kentucky with a rebound. Don DeVoe said he doesn't mind that zone because they've had such great perimeter shooting. Here's Barrett. It's 4-0.
And that's a nice one to get going with down in this ballgame. Barrett is reputedly an excellent shooter, just like the rest of the starters, other than Walker had his troubles this year.
4-0. 18:08 to go in the first half. Rob Jones, nice move. Foul called on Barrett.
Going to be Barrett or Harden?
Let's see.
Going to be Roger Harden.
It is Roger Harden. You're right. Rob Jones goes to the line. This is an excellent free throw shooting Tennessee basketball team. They are averaging 76% as a team. And, of course, it happens every time.
Well, that should put them in the top 10 somewhere. But you've noticed now, Tennessee in their half-court offense, they've gone inside. Both times they've come down. And while they shoot so well from the perimeter, their inside people have developed as the year has gone on. They've done such a good job of getting to the free throw line, they're not afraid to throw it inside.
Just under 18 minutes to go in the first half. It's a 4-1 Kentucky lead. Walker will shoot again. That's 4 for Kenny Walker. Tennessee down by 5. Tony White will take it to the baseline. Draws the foul on Harden. That's number 2.
Well, there's no secret to this. Tony White, you'll enjoy watching him play. Tremendous strength in his legs, very quick, excellent jumper, having an outstanding year for a sophomore.
And we're back live now as Brooks takes it back to the top of the key to reset. Brooks won. Excuse me, Steve.
That's Brooks with the ball at the top. He keys the offense. He runs the tempo, controls the tempo for this ball club.
Tennessee unable to hit from the field as Harden gets the ball. Now Blackman. It's a 2-on-2 break, and here comes Walker. They look for him, settle instead for Winston Bennett, playing with that heavily bandaged knee. Now underneath for Walker, he'll have the shot, puts it up, he's got 6.
Uh-oh, he went down. He might have an ankle problem.
That'll be an official's timeout.
He doesn't look to be in a lot of pain. I see what happens. He must come down on somebody's foot right there because Bowie and Turpin drew so much attention. But this year, he's getting double and triple coverage defensively, and he's still getting 20-some points a game.
Saw the shot of Richard Madison, the freshman from Memphis, who was taking his spot. There's the layup off the glass. Michael Brooks, and it's an 8-3 game with 16:50 to go in the first half.
Michael Brooks doesn't have the great foot speed on the defensive end, but they'll tell you that he's deceptively quick with the ball. You saw a great example of that, took the baseline for the basket.
Tennessee in that man-for-man. Roger Harden guarded by Michael Brooks. Harden will pass him the shot because it's not there, and Kentucky will reload.
Well, and now with Walker out of the lineup, let's see if somebody takes charge of this offense.
Harden can't find it. Barrett draws the foul underneath.
It's going to be on Rob Jones. Barrett had position.
There's Kenny Walker on the bench, Steve, as they continue to work on that ankle.
Well, if it's not real serious.
Madison's shot won't fall. Chip. And a foul underneath on Winston Bennett. Let me tell you about the woes of the Kentucky shooting. With the lineup they now have on the floor, with Kenny Walker getting taped on the sideline, their 5 guys on the lineup are now hitting 37% from the field, 42%, 39%, 43%, and 46%.
Well, once again, you're looking at 2 of their top 3 players in Blackman and Bennett. With knee injuries, they just don't get the spring in their jump, which dictates how well you're going to shoot the ball. The rest of the people just have never been asked to be shooters. So therein, I think, come some of the answers for that problem.
Another foul, this one underneath on Brett Barrett. That's his first. 8-3 with 16:09 to go in the first half.
Vern, I think one of the other things that you have to realize, too, is when those injuries occurred, they all happened at the same time. Bennett, Blackman, and Madison all had injuries, so they really had a difficult time practicing before the season started.
Michael Brooks cans one. That shades the lead to 3 at 8-5. And for Michael Brooks, 4 points.
Now, Brooks wishes there was still a 3-point play in the game.
That's right.
He can bomb them from a long way out.
Blackman to Harden. Bennett with the turnaround. And a chance for 3 points. Foul on Anthony Richardson underneath. Winston Bennett is one of those who, I think you pointed out a while ago, still has a long way to come back from the injury.
It really does. What happens is when you get a knee injury, the biggest problem is the atrophy that you get in your thigh. And that left thigh of his is still a solid inch smaller than the right thigh. And there's no question, too, that when you get a knee injury, one of the rehabilitation processes is mental. You've got to be able to play past it.
11-5, Vern Lundquist and Steve Grody from Stokely Athletic Center in Knoxville, Tennessee, as Kentucky has assumed a 6-point lead.
And off the lineup, the timeout, Kentucky changes defense. They're in a 1-2-2 zone.
Fred Jenkins breaks that zone with a long shot that cuts the margin to 11-7. First basket by Jenkins. All 5 starters for Tennessee averaging in double figures, but Don DeVoe's problem is he doesn't have much bench strength. He's got to go with those 5 or 6 or 7 most of the game.
And I think that's the best. I think that's the best situation to be in, where everybody scores, everybody contributes, everybody's happy.
On the break, here's Tony White. It's a 2-on-3, and White puts it up. That'll be goaltending. And it's 11-9. Don DeVoe likes what he saw.
Once again, we talked about Tony White. He's an explosive player. He's really the crowd favorite down here. They get excited when he has the ball. He gets the crowd into it.
And good news for Kentucky fans. Kenny Walker is back in the lineup. So he sat out about 2 minutes. 11-9 with 14:35 to go, and Walker draws the foul from Rob Jones.
You know, I think with Walker coming back into the lineup off that injury, I don't know if I would crowd him to the point right now where I committed a lot of fouls. It looks to me like he's running gingerly on it. I would wait and see if, in fact, he can get the ball off of these offensive picks he comes off, plant, and go up for the shot.
Substitution for Kentucky as they also commit the turnover. Ed Davender, a freshman from Brooklyn, New York, number 15, has come in. And that is the first Kentucky turnover.
1-2-2 zone, second time in a row for Kentucky.
11-9, 14-19 to go.
What an asset to have a talented player like Winston Bennett at his size playing that point. With the long arms, can prevent the pass going into the middle. Has the speed and quickness to really go in and rebound from that position also.
Traction against Kentucky, so Tennessee will inbound. Fred Jenkins quickly gets it back to Michael Brooks. Brooks sat out all of last year, academically ineligible, has come back for this his senior season and leads the team with an average of better than 17 points per game. Here's Tony White, who's the second leading scorer on the ball club. Brooks will take that shot all night long.
He'll hit most of them, too.
6 for Brooks. We're tied at 11. And that has gotten the crowd aroused once more. Barrow to Bennett. Contact. Third foul. Oh, that was on Anthony Richardson.
One of the things you have to have in this Kentucky offense is somebody who can pass the ball well from the post area. And you've got Bennett and Walker who can post up. And of course, that's Bennett's most effective position on the floor offensively. Barrett threw the good pass, and he went to the hoop strong that time.
Stacey Thomas, freshman from Gainesville, Georgia, has checked in now as Tennessee's first substitute. Bennett hitting 64% of his free throws for the year. .36 to go. Another 2-point lead for Kentucky. Tennessee trailed by as many as 7, but they fought back to tie it up.
2-1 full court pressure. Just a chance to slow things down a little bit. Oh, Bennett got away with the push right there.
Back to Tony White. Off-balance shot will go short. Barrett with the rebound. And a quick fast break. Here's Blackman for 2 more.
One of the things you would like to think you could be struggling offensively is get that fast break going. You'd like to be able to do easy at some point in the game.
Having some problems with Steve Brody's mics, who will make the necessary repairs shortly. 12:57 to go first half, 15-11. Turnaround by Brooks. He's got 8 points. Kentucky now 6 of 10, hitting 60% from the field. And Tennessee also 6 of 10. Make it 7 of 11. Ed Davender, freshman from Brooklyn, number 15.
Well, and 7.5 minutes into the ballgame, I think some of Tennessee's worst fears are being realized. They wondered when Kentucky came in here, hey, when is this team finally going to put it together? They've got some talent out there. Certainly they're short on experience, but they're at least off to a good start in this ballgame.
The answer to that, however, has been Michael Brooks from about 25 feet. Brooks now in double figures, first player to get there. He's got 10 of Tennessee's 15 points.
Every time I start to say something, he throws up a 25-footer.
That's right. Davender. Air ball.
Freshman mistake.
Tony White will slow it down and give it off to Brooks, and why not?
He's a threat when he comes across half court.
Kentucky starting to sense that, too, now. They came out to meet him right at the top of the key. See Blackman and Davender both going at him. He'll take it again. Light him up. It's uncanny. 12 points.
And you have to know that that's what he does best. You can't let him stand out there and shoot it.
He'd have 21 points in the pros right now. 3-pointers. Good shot by Kenny Walker. 19-17.
And once again, a great pass by Barrett. Had a good shot himself. The defenders turned their back to screen out. Walker's wide open.
Jenkins won't go. Bennett with a rebound for the Wildcats. Turnover. Tennessee's ball. Joe B is not happy. Timeout's been called. This NCAA basketball broadcast, Steve Brody and I will be selecting the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player of the Game from each team. Chevrolet donates a $1,000 scholarship to the General Scholarship Fund of each school. Watch Kenny Walker back in action underneath the Kentucky basket, Steve Brody.
Well, once again, defensively, as a rebounder, anybody playing inside, when that ball is shot, then you turn and box your man out. But so many big guys, as soon as somebody goes up for a shot, they'll turn their heads, and that was an excellent pass by Barrett.
19-17, 11:04 to go in the first half. Check the lineups now. It's still White, Brooks with the ball, Jenkins, Richardson, and Stacey Thomas. Or Rob Jones, rather, is in there. Richardson is on the bench.
Kentucky changes defenses off the timeout again, man-to-man this time. Something Kentucky worked on a lot yesterday. As soon as that offensive dribbler picks the ball up, you have to overplay every man on the floor to prevent the pass. Got the 5-second call that time.
Ed Davender to Winston Bennett, back to Kenny Walker, working one-on-one on Stacy Thomas now, and Barrett with a turnaround that won't fall, gets his own rebound, puts it in.
Well, Tennessee, if they've had one consistent deficiency this year, it's been on the boards. They're being out-rebounded by 4 a ball game. Certainly that would be Kentucky's advantage in this matchup.
Blackman guarding Michael Brooks. That won't go. Battle for the rebound that Brooks finally achieves. He'll shoot it again using the glass and puts it in.
Brooks has had throughout his career the uncanny ability to get off the shot regardless of who guards him. You see him go in a one-on-one situation a couple different times, even against taller players. Ice Reynolds from LSU is guarding him at 6'7". Morris from Auburn at 6'7". It doesn't matter who they put on him, he gets off his shot.
In the meantime, underneath, away from the ball, Stacy Thomas, the freshman forward, draws the foul on Kenny Walker, and Kentucky will inbound. Interesting switch defensively now. They put Thomas at 6'7" on the 6'8" Walker. So Rob Jones goes over and guards Winston Bennett.
Well, they've been decently pleased with Thomas's defensive efforts this year as a freshman. There aren't a lot of freshmen that get playing time in this program.
They're shoving some bodies underneath there, too. Now the double team, and Walker lays it off to Barrett. What a nice play. The minute that Jones came off Barrett, Walker spotted it, laid it off, layup.
Well,
23-19.
It takes, it has to be a team effort, and Barrett did the right thing. As soon as he saw him go to the basket, he saw an open lane and made the great cut. Actually, see, they both do the right things. Is that Bennett on the baseline or Davender? He went baseline, drew the defense to him. Barrett came in from the wing.
9:32 to go first half. 23-19. Kentucky leads. They have led throughout. Turnover, Tennessee. Kentucky's ball. Substitution now for the University of Tennessee. Myron Carter, number 23, comes into the lineup. And Tony White will get a rest. Myron Carter, senior from Madison, former walk-on. Tony White sits down with only 2 points so far. Underneath the Barrett. Rebound Walker.
Beat the freshman that time.
Back to a 6-point Kentucky edge.
And if there was any doubt as to what type of player Walker was, you've seen it all from him today in the first half already.
Davender stepped on the line after he gets the ball, so it'll go the other direction.
Walker has hit the jumpers. You'll see him come for the offensive rebound here. Thomas turns his head, does it fine. Walker. I tell you, anytime you let that offensive rebounder get a 1- or 2-step momentum going, it's going to be tough to keep him off the boards.
So far, halfway through the
left-hander.
Oh, boy. Into the photographer's row goes Michael Brooks.
Oh, they're going to call a foul, I think, on Barrett.
Is that away from the ball?
It has to be away from the ball. Brooks obviously got fouled by Blackman, but they're going to call this on Barrett.
And that's the second foul on Brett Barrett. Tennessee hitting 9 of 15 from the field for 60%. And now Rob Jones at the free throw line. He is the least successful of a very fine bunch of free throw shooters for Tennessee.
Tennessee in the 1-on-1 now with almost 9 minutes left in the first half. They have outscored their opponents in 19 ball games by 134 points at the free throw line this year. A significant margin.
Jones gets both. It's back to 4 points with 8:48 to go in the first half. Davender gets the elbow into the body and then clears away. Nice move. Lays it off to Bennett. 2 points.
I'll tell you what, the scouting report didn't mention much about Kentucky's passing ability, but that's been the difference so far here in the first half. Their ability to penetrate, or at least in most instances, find the open man for a basket.
And in contrast to that one game that Joe Hall told us about, when they missed 24 from in the lane, they have hit most of their shots from close today. They are 12 of 19 for the first half.
Well, and for the most part, they've gotten excellent opportunities, too.
Nice soft touch by Michael Brooks. Uses the circumference of the rim and has it fall through. And Brooks has 16 points. Carter has it go his way. Now, I'll tell you what's interesting. Watching Don DeVoe run practice yesterday with his subs, He was screaming at his second-line players, dive for the ball, dive for the ball, dive for the ball. Myron Carter is one who was doing it then, did it now, and it paid off.
Well, let's see why they give this ball to Tennessee, though. Unless they rule it. I mean, it was very, very close, but I didn't think he was out of bounds. And now he just pointed in the wrong direction.
Yeah, he did.
There was no reason for that ball to be Tennessee's. But you're right. I mean, defense is the name of the game in Don DeVoe's book. If you want to get in the lineup, you have to play defense. You have to get on the floor for loose balls.
Now, Kirk Naylor, number 32, has come in. So the two officials overruled the other, and Kentucky has the ball back. Blackman, no. Naylor, senior from Gadsden, Alabama, with a rebound, and he gives it off to Michael Brooks. 27-23. Kentucky leads with 7:40 to go first half. Jenkins puts it up. Walker with a rebound. Ed Davender, number 15. He'll take the shot.
Oh. This doesn't look like a team that's been struggling, does it?
It sure doesn't. 29-23.
This old jinx thing, they've lost 11 of the last 12, but, this is a young ball club. These aren't players who have played down here for, 4 years and had nothing but bad experiences. These are guys who are just coming into play.
Foul on Blackman, number 10 for Kentucky. And when you look at that Kentucky team of a year ago, when they went to the Final Four, they lost Jim Master, Dickie Beal, Turpin, Bowie. And you can't expect that kind of a record every year, I don't guess, but sometimes they do expect it every year.
They expect this to happen after a Final Four year.
Yeah, that's right.
This is the third time in a row that they've been 9-7 after 16 games, and it's happened every time after they went to the Final Four.
75-76, they were in the Final Four, went 9-7 the next year. They've won their last 10 games of the year. And it happened again in 78-79. They were 9-7 and lost in the first round of the NIT that season. 29-24, 7 minutes to go. First half, Vern Lundquist and Steve Grody. On CBS from Knoxville, Tennessee, Davender.
That was a great moving pick by Barrett that time.
Rebound to Kirk Naylor, and here comes Michael Brooks, who has 16 points in the first half. Works along the baseline. Everything the man puts up is falling. Must be a great feeling, Steve, when you get into that kind of a zone to know that you can't miss.
It must be. I never hit it myself, but I played for a lot of years. Hoped I'd get it one time, but whew, this is a big basket too.
I think Kenny Walker's in that same zone.
He's been in for about a month and a half.
He's got 10 points with a chance to make it 11. And it's 31-26 with 6:30 to go first half.
When you take a look at Davender, there's Kenny Walker. What a terrific physical specimen he is.
Chance for three goes by the wayside. Michael Brooks gets the ball.
Now they've got Andrews on Brooks.
Myron Carter starts toward the baseline.
That was a quick release.
Naylor. Rob Jones, he'll shoot two as Barrett gets the foul. And that's 3 fouls on Brent Barrett.
Well, I think 2 officials called it on 2 different players. I don't know which one is going to overrule which.
Double check.
You're right, it's on Barrett. Two air balls and you end up at the foul line. It doesn't hardly seem fair to Kentucky, but sometimes you just have to be in the right place at the right time.
Richard Madison checks in for Barrett. Madison, the freshman, number 42, takes his spot on the free throw line. So that Kentucky Wildcat lineup now has Andrews, Davender, Madison, Walker, and Bennett.
And the freshman Davender is really having a good game so far. Scored 33 points a game in high school,
including 52 his final game. Out of Brooklyn, New York.
See what I was telling you about? See, that's my complaint about Bennett. See how he jumped in trying to draw the foul and shot a bad shot?
As a result, Jenkins cans it at the other end, and it's 31-29.
And Joe Hall's up and angry with him. I've noticed that with a little bit of a knee problem, I saw him in practice yesterday he started shooting that little 7- and 8-foot fadeaway. I think it's a shot that he has to learn how to master if he's going to have a complete offensive game. He's got that right there. Uh-oh. I don't think they're going to allow it.
You're right. The call is on Bennett.
Watch it now. Once again, an offensive rebounder who gets 1 or 2 steps with nobody checking him out, and it's too tough to stop him. It looks like a bad call to me.
I didn't see that much contact.
I thought maybe he had his left hand on a Tennessee player, but I just think it was a bad call.
As a result, Rob Jones at the line at the other end.
Chance to tie it.
Jones now 6 of 8 from the line. He's got every point from 15 feet away. All. 5 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the first half of the Southeastern Conference game from Knoxville. Got the moves underneath as well.
You know, he's the type of player defensively, you can't let him body up. See what he's done to everybody who's guarded him today. He turns his back. As soon as he feels contact, then he knows you can't jump. See, you almost have to get away with holding your arm out a little bit, hand checking him, so you've got a little distance so you can, you know, get down in a crouch and get up and block his shot. But he gets it off quickly, bodies up on you, and he's got a quick release.
5.5 to go first half.
There's a lot of guys who can get off a shot one-on-one, but not many of them make them like he does.
Tennessee employs the full court press. Their lineup now has Carter, Jenkins, Brooks, Kirk Naylor, and Rob Jones. Here's Kenny Walker.
Ooh, sounded like all ball to me.
Let's see if we can tell from the other end.
Now, to come off a pick at this angle, get the ball, and go up for a jump shot, his ankle has to be all right. That's just too severe of an angle to turn with a good ankle injury.
Call is made on Michael Brooks, his first foul. Walker with 12 points and 3 rebounds so far.
The guy's not perfect, is he?
That's the second one he's missed. Gets 1 out of 3 now.
Just, you know, the guy is just having an unbelievable year, particularly, as we mentioned before, when you realize that he's drawing all the defensive attention to begin with.
What a fine pass from Naylor. Rob Jones gets 2, but Kirk Naylor, the senior from Gadsden, Alabama, had the assist. And that is the first Tennessee lead of the game.
Uh-oh.
Kentucky ball. Watch the assist again, Steve Cody.
This is the kind of pass that defensively you want them to throw. The long one should give the defense plenty of time to rotate. But Naylor, you talked about not much of a bench, but Naylor started quite a few ball games this year. He's got some experience, and that was just a great play. Now from this wide angle, watch Walker. He's all over the floor. They set double picks for him. He runs from side to side. You can see all the defensive help they're giving on him this possession.
You bet they are. Foul underneath. Myron Carter draws the foul, his second. And that sends Ed Davender to the free throw line. Kentucky, of course, lost the 4 starters from a year ago, though Harden started many of those games last year at the beginning of the season. Oops. One call for Davender, but they've got quite a bit of talent in their freshman crop this year.
Well, once again, I just feel like as a Kentucky team that's still trying to find themselves. No question that as the year goes on, they'll get better and better. And the mere fact that they're going to get a chance to play together and practice together. Like I said, with those 3 injuries all happening at the same time, they just couldn't field their team.
Myron Carter doesn't shoot that much. So that one goes from 20 feet. And it's a 3-point Tennessee lead with 3:50 to go in the first half.
Whistle. 1-1. On the drive.
Kirk Naylor draws the foul. His first. 6'7", 210-pound, 21-year-old senior. And Walker currently 1 of 3 from the free throw line. Madison. Richard Madison was a starting quarterback at his high school football team in Memphis last year, and also plays baseball. We're told he has a 90-mile-an-hour fastball.
Well, I'll tell you what else he has is all the athletic ability in the world to be a great basketball player. Because he played football every year in high school and never started playing basketball until his junior year, until junior high, he's never really had the fundamental work that you have to have and the fundamental techniques you need to play in major college basketball.
3:29 to go in the first half. Tennessee's lead is 1. In winning with only 2 tournaments gone. Don DeVoe on the sideline. I'm Vern Lundquist along with Steve Grody. We are at the Stokely Athletic Center on the campus of the University of Tennessee, and we want to welcome those of you in the Indianapolis area who have just joined us as Joe B. Hall's team led by as many as 7 early in the first half, and then a late Tennessee surge put them on top 33-32. They currently lead by 1. Inbound pass to Myron Carter operating at the point, and Madison comes out to work on him.
Now you can see that they're extending that 1-2-2 zone, which they've played earlier in the ball game. They'll extend the point a little bit now because Brooks has been burning them at the top of the key. That's Brooks with the ball.
And 18 points so far. Carter tries to solve the puzzle, works underneath, lays it off to Naylor, and gets 2 more. Very patient demonstration.
Well, there's one thing that you can never allow happen, particularly in the zone defense, is penetration. It draws the defense and leaves people open for easy jump shots, and Naylor's a good shooter and nailed it.
Talked about the contrast in these 2 teams as you go to Walker underneath rather. The decided strength of Kentucky is inside. Here's Bennett with 2 more. That won't go. Of the Kentucky points so far, their guards have scored 6. Their inside men have scored 28. Here's the lob pass, and Walker is there to deflect it. But a good play by Jones, and then it's rejected out of bounds by Walker. In the opposite direction, Tennessee has now scored 24 points from the outside and 13 inside.
Did you see what happened on a Kentucky possession again, though? Every time Winston Bennett jumps forward, he misses the shot. When he goes straight up, he has a much better opportunity.
Brooks now has 20. Substitution for Kentucky. Robert Locke, freshman from Reedley, California, comes in. That's him, number 44, who has the ball now. Blackman.
Somebody's going to have to hit it from the outside. They're really sagging off on Walker now.
And here come the Volunteers on the run. Now they'll pull it up and reset. Michael Brooks, 20 of the 39 Tennessee points.
Game has really turned around in the last 4 or 5 minutes. A basket here, a 7-point lead for Tennessee. Good block. Oh, big turnaround. We're going to get Jones over the back on a foul.
Watched just a moment ago as Kenny Walker had the great defensive series at the Tennessee end.
First of all, goes up to get the lob. You know, the great player always gets himself involved in so many different plays. You've seen Walker offensive rebounds, jump shots, a couple assists, the defensive end. You hate to keep talking about the guy, but he continues to do so many things. You have to say something.
That's 20 block shots for the year. 3rd foul on Rob Jones, so he becomes the first player in some degree of difficulty in fouls for Tennessee. Now, Richard Madison, number 42, at the line for the Wildcats.
Oh, great rebound. What a big basket. Right over Richardson.
Robert Locke from Reedley, California, cuts the lead to 3 with 1:28 to go in the half. Naylor lays it off. Brooks will take 2 more. Man can't miss. That's 22 points.
Unconscious. Look at this. Boy. Oh, that's a confidence builder right there.
Blackman answers that sagging defense of Tennessee, and the basket comes with 1:05 to go in the half.
If Blackman doesn't shoot that immediately without hesitation, he shouldn't shoot it. If you hesitate, you never make those.
Tennessee reloads.
Foul on Blackman.
That's his third. He and Barrett both have 3 for Kentucky. Ed Davender will come back in for Kentucky now, and Blackman will get a rest. Kentucky lineup has 3 freshmen on the floor now, along with Walker and Roger Harden. Locke, Madison, and Davender. And Fred Jenkins gets the free throw. That's 5 points for Jenkins in the first half.
I would think Kentucky, once they get the ball, would be wise to run off the majority of that 45 seconds. There are 55 seconds on the shot clock. Or while you're running your offense, take the first real good one. I don't know.
2 good plays by Locke.
Yeah, big tip in. Because Tennessee was about really ready to jump up on him. Had an opportunity to go up 7. 2-point ball game now. They may hold for the last shot.
Brooks guarded by Davender. 42-40. And we're under 20 seconds.
I've always maintained it. Anytime you get an offensive rebound in a basket off of a missed foul shot, it ends up being a big play. It's a momentum changer, and I think that it has been the big play here at the end of the second half.
And Brooks, who will take the shot because he's on a streak, draws the foul and will go to the line. Well, we talked about the well-balanced Tennessee offense, huh? Don DeVoe's team has 5 starters in double figures, and Brooks has 22 points.
No, it's well-balanced. Brooks from the outside, Brooks from the inside, Brooks from the foul line.
That's right. He's that soft touch, and he gets all of it again. The next closest scorer for Tennessee is Rob Jones. He's got 9 points, and 7 of them came from the free throw line. Whereas Steve pointed out, Tennessee has a decided advantage. Oh, what a play. No, didn't work. Jenkins went for the ball, tipped it out of bounds. It will be Kentucky's to inbound. 3 seconds left.
I was just going to say, Brooks just went back to double-team Walker. I thought they might just lob it to him.
Naylor gets the ball, and it's halftime. Don DeVoe's team had trailed by as many as 7 at one point. Late first half surge gave them the lead, and they lead by 4 right now. That's the end of the first half with our score, Tennessee 44, Kentucky 40. Coming up at halftime, a report on the final round of the Los Angeles Open, an update on Kansas State head coach Jack Hartman for the year, and Tennessee at 57%. That's a nice average.
Well, Tennessee's a good shooting ball club. I think it's significant, though, that Kentucky's got, 7 people in the scoring column. So they've gotten baskets from everybody. And so
with 6, but Barrett has 3 fouls. And Michael Brooks, 11 of 14 from the field in the first half for 24 points. His season high, Steve, is 26. I think he's got a shot to match that. Second half, both these teams 4 and 3 in Southeastern Conference play, chasing the Mississippi State team that won last night over Vanderbilt 71-70. And Bob Boyd's team goes to 6 and 2 in the conference.
And how about the job he's doing?
Oh. It is really a long game. Now let's set the 5. Michael Brooks, Fred Jenkins, Kurt Naylor still in the lineup along with Tony White and Anthony Richardson. So that is the quintet that Don DeVoe starts with in the second half. It's not his starting 5.
I'm sorry, 1-2-2 zone to start, and they move Brooks down to the wing.
There's Naylor who shoots from outside. Won't go. Tip Bennett, Roger Harden. Looks for Kenny Walker on his left side. Lobs it underneath to Walker.
I think that one was tipped.
Battle for the rebound is finally won by Brett Barrett. Look how quickly they look for Walker.
Great pass, too. I mean, Harden put it right in the only spot where the defender couldn't go after the steal. But you're right. As soon as they come up with the ball on the perimeter, they look right inside. And I'll tell you what, I mean, Walker does a great job of getting there and establishing good position.
Skip pass into the corner for Michael Brooks, who is not playing in the wing. See what that does to Kentucky's defensive adjustment. Tony White unusual to see a man 6'7" out of that point, isn't it?
Well, what it does is give him a fellow who can pass the ball over the zone and see over that big, they're playing Bennett at the point, so it gives them a 6'7" guy who can look over Bennett and hopefully make the pass.
Walker again. He's missed 2 of 3, but Barrett follows, and we're tied at 44.
Well, give Barrett, how many rebounds is that for him? Getting his 4th rebound, his 4th basket, and he's having himself a good game.
That, despite being in foul trouble, we're tied with 18:25 to go in the ballgame. Tony White from outside. Asked Don DeVoe yesterday what he liked most about his club. He says, we can shoot from the outside fairly well. 46-44. Walker.
Look at that. Little athletic ability there.
The ball climbed from underneath the rim. It appeared. And went in. Tied at 46.
Well, they're using a 2-guard front against the 1-2-2. You saw White has the ability to shoot it from there. Naylor's also an excellent shooter. I think they'll probably hold Brooks down, though, if he stays on the wing.
That's the second shot Naylor has taken. Second time it hasn't gone. Bennett saves it for Kentucky. Here's Blackman. Threw it right into Naylor's arms.
That was a great pass. It just went to the wrong team. Now, I just think that with a good knee, Blackman might have just taken that one right through the hoop. There's where Brooks belongs.
Get him out of that wing. He's got 26. That matches his season high, which came against Eastern Kentucky. 48-46.
Oh, that's a foul.
Naylor is now the 3rd man that Don DeVoe has put on Kenny Walker. Harden will take the jumper. Won't fall. Tennessee's ball.
Walker feels like somebody went over his back. Amazed that time that he was even quick enough to get in position to contend for that rebound. Came from the other side of the basket.
It was 44-40 at the half. Anthony Richardson, the sophomore, off-balance shot, but he traveled before he took the shot.
Excellent defensive play by Winston Bennett. Watch once again from the point how much ground he covers defensively.
Roger Harden. Steve, there's another point here to be made. That's only the 5th turnover by Tennessee, and Kentucky has only 5. This far into the game, that's remarkable.
Very well played ball game there.
There's 6.
Well, Tennessee that'll be another turnover right there. Now, Tennessee only averages 13 turnovers per ball game.
Richardson's follow shot will not stand. And Kentucky will inbound. Watch it again. There's the steal.
Yeah, it looked like Bennett just lost control of the ball there. It slipped out of his hands. Ooh, that's a real tough call right there. Still, I think the offensive player, once again, should have stopped, pulled up, and shot a good shot.
Now, Kirk Naylor gets the ball back for Tennessee. 48-46, they lead. 16 minutes to go in the ball game. Herm Lundqvist and Steve Grody from Knoxville, Tennessee. White with a fake. Goes over Bennett. It's short. Yep. Trying to shoot it over the 6'7" Bennett. Now Harden quickly to Walker.
Oh,
almost traveled. Bear up over the top. That's number 4 on him.
I just have a hard time with when an official is directly behind a situation like that, how he can tell if there's contact or not. If he went over the back, you'd almost have to be at an angle to see between them.
We've got 15:44 to go. Other games, Maryland over in the ball game. Now let's see what offensively Don DeVoe's got in mind. He's got that 2-guard offense back again.
Both guards operating opposite that 1-point defensive front. Got Brooks back where he's been most effective in that first half.
Rob Jones is checked back into the lineup now for Tennessee. He gets the nice pass and the rejection from Walker. Now White takes it underneath, puts it up. Oh, what a dandy move.
Boy, he exploded along the baseline and got up so quickly that the defenders didn't have time to react to go up for the block. Probably saw White explode for the first time all day.
Robert Locke, who had 2 big points in the first half, misses on this one as he's come back in for Kentucky. Now Tony White with a rebound. And Panko, the official, does not call a violation. White in the corner.
Ooh.
Underneath to Rob Jones. Robert Locke will draw the foul. Watch that last sequence just a minute or so ago. Quick pass to Rob Jones, then the rejection by Walker.
Watch this. I mean, White goes baseline and gets the ball in the basket before anybody can react. And Bennett's one of your quicker jumpers.
Brooks. Everybody's in a state of shock that didn't go in. Jenkins does, though. Fred Jenkins. That's 7 points for Jenkins and a 6-point Tennessee lead. That is the largest Tennessee lead of the ball game. Jenkins. Harden with the steal. Bennett gets it back. Roger Harden across the timeline. Robert Locke has 6 points.
Nice soft touch for a big guy, just a freshman. Coming from California. Bring him in from anywhere. Everywhere and anywhere in Kentucky.
52-48. 13:48 to go in the ball game.
Now, Brooks puts one up from where he's at now. I might take off my headset. Go out there and shake his hand.
Jenkins will try from the corner again. And the rebound goes Kentucky's way. Walker rejected, lays it up again, uses all the iron and pulls it through.
Now the mark of a great player. Stays after it, comes up with another big basket.
19 points for Kenny Walker, 19 of the 50 that Kentucky has put on the board.
Walker looks like he might need a little bit of a break. Really working hard to catch his breath right now. You have to appreciate, though, what great condition he must be in as often as they look to him on the offensive end.
Anthony Richardson push it up over Robert Locke, and will have a chance for 3. Now, they did the switch off underneath as Walker was guarding Richardson, then let Locke have him, and Locke drew the foul.
We're obviously hoping to give Barup a little bit of a break with his 3 personal fouls. They may end up having to get him in there. Lucky basket, but nonetheless, the foul was there.
Richardson makes it a 3-point play, and it's back to a 5-point Tennessee lead with 12:45 to go in the ball game. Harden all the way in. Great move.
Great recognition of the defensive lapse, and there you saw Brooks' one deficiency. Not the great foot speed to guard somebody in a one-on-one open court situation.
Naylor gets it underneath, and that'll be Locke's foul again. That's his 3rd. So the big men are getting in trouble for Kentucky. Joe B in the customary position up out of his chair.
He strikes that pose at least once or twice every game where he just sort of stands there and looks out onto the floor.
No, he played with a team. He played against the Globetrotters once back in 1951. Joe B. Hall.
Joe coached my high school coach.
Really?
That's right. And where was it? I'll remember where it was in a second.
And been that long since you graduated from high school, I don't think. 57-52, 12:15 to go in the ball game. Walker to Harden. Underneath to Richard Madison, who draws the foul on Anthony Richardson. That's his 3rd.
He was out at Regis College.
In Denver, as a matter of fact.
Right.
That's right.
Joe was the head coach. Paul Fry, who was really one of the most respected high school coaches in the country, up there in Cincinnati Elton. And he played for Joe.
Don DeVoe, of course, background from Ohio State.
Take a good look at Richard Madison out of Memphis, Tennessee. There's his Brooks. I don't know if there's any city in the country that turns out as many major college basketball players as that town does.
You look down at the University of Alabama, Birmingham, and what Gene Barthel has done. They won again last night over VCU. He's got about 4 or 5 guys on his squad from Memphis.
Of course, Dave Dinkins, our producer, a New York native, at least for the size of the town. How about if we put it that way?
This one on Dolphin. Oh, how about the tip? And it's quickly back to a 5-point lead. Harden.
Blackman that time put on the good, strong move and went up very confidently, and the ball went in.
Blackman with 6 points now. But typically, Kentucky has only one man in double figures. That is Kenny Walker. White. Kirk Naylor with a rebound. Oh! Looked like he was just throwing it up. Thompson and the Louisville Cardinals hosted the Paul Blue Demons led by Dallas Comegys. And next Sunday, the Arkansas Razorbacks with high-scoring Joe Klein square off against Patrick Ewing and the Georgetown Hoyas. 2 exciting matchups next weekend on CBS Sports, the home of the NCAA Championship. Arkansas versus Georgetown, and of course Eddie Sutton's team, they also felt the sting of Texas Tech earlier this year.
And what a non-conference schedule they're playing this year. At Virginia today, at Georgetown, played Tulsa earlier in the year. You and I did that game. He's got a young ball club this year.
9:35 to go in the ball game. 65-56, Tennessee leading Kentucky. Barrett, Bennett, Walker, Blackman, and Harden, the Kentucky lineup now.
Very important possession here. You love to be able to score coming off of a timeout, too. It's a chance to set a play and go to your best player. Got the good shot. Didn't fall.
Rob Jones with another rebound. And a chance for double-digit lead for the first time. That's 8 rebounds for Rob Jones in the game. And he's played much of it with 3 fouls.
Kentucky will be forced to play man-to-man now. The only way you get back in a ball game like this is to play good defense, come up with some steals. Fortunately, there's the 45-second shot clock.
Naylor with the screen and the foul underneath.
Going to be on Barrett.
That's 5.
I'd have to see that one again. I just thought Barrett stood his ground and didn't move at all. Take a look at it. They double up right here, and then they fall asleep. Look. Yeah, he moved a little bit. Caught him with the knees.
Barrett leaves with 8 points and 4 rebounds. And Richard Madison has checked in to take his place. Freshman from Memphis.
So often, though, those centers get into foul trouble after a perimeter offensive player beats somebody either down the lane or along the baseline.
If it goes, this will be the 30th point of the game for Michael Brooks. Just under half of Tennessee's points. 8:30 to go. And the first double-digit lead of the ball game belongs to Tennessee. They're up by 11 and 67-56.
Somebody's going to have to hit a jumper.
No. White with a 1-on-3 needs to pull up and reset. And he does. Back to Michael Brooks. High-point man for the game with 30 points, the season high.
And see what he does. He knows when to push the offense. He knows when to set it up. He controls the tempo. Today, he's the big scorer.
Walker with the rejection, and it'll be Tennessee to inbound. Now Ed Davender will come in, number 15. And James Blackman will get a rest. Sophomore replaced by the freshman.
A little confusion defensively for the guards.
Brooks home, 1. Richard Madison had tripped and fallen, and that left Rob Jones all by himself. It's a 13-point Tennessee lead.
And look at him fall off the guards now. Let me tell you, it is... I know because they used to do it to me sometimes. It is so difficult to get yourself to step up and shoot that shot when they're falling off of you like that. It makes you think about it too much.
Let's look at that last Tennessee basket. Watch Madison trip and fall now, and Rob Jones go wide open. There's the fall.
Well, when things aren't going right, those type things happen. The other problem with shooting the shot when the guards fall off like that is, you want to run your offense, and you hate to shoot that quick shot every time, particularly when they're not going in. And Harden's had his troubles again today.
Ball is inbounded to Blackman. Now Kenny Walker, quickly 2 men on him. 7:19 to go in the ball game, and a 13-point Tennessee lead. Charging.
Well, you can really feel the frustration for Kenny Walker.
And for Joe Hall. That is the first foul of the game on Kenny Walker. He's got 19 points, a couple of blocks, and several rebounds.
I mean, they are just absolutely leaving people and double-teaming him within the offense.
Now he's trying to do it all, and trying to do it immediately, isn't he, Steve?
Yeah, he's frustrated. He's just frustrated. That's when you start making mistakes. Even a seasoned player when they get this frustrated, and that's a close call.
Kirk Naylor was going after the ball.
Once again, if they could get a couple fast breaks and get some easy baskets, it would really help break this.
And this time it goes on Naylor as he and Walker continue pounding on each other.
Now he's getting roughed up a little bit. There's a bump. Now Naylor's holding him.
So the ball will be inbounded by Kentucky. Walker with Naylor. They started out with Rob Jones on him, and Jones quickly got in foul trouble. Tried Stacey Thomas. Now Naylor is the third man who's drawn Walker as the assignment. Here's Davender. Lund. And Tennessee's Michael Brooks with 6:40 to go in the game. And a chance to go up by 15 points.
Good defense by the freshman. Davender stayed right with him and bothered him on that shot more than anybody else has been able to the whole ball game.
And that's the fourth foul on Anthony Richardson, sophomore forward for Tennessee.
Well, one of the things you don't want...
Walker with a turnaround. They'll try once more, and it finally falls.
Boy, you have to love the effort this guy gives. I mean, he just stays with it. He stays with it. Missed a jumper. Been getting banged around all day long. Still comes up with the offensive rebound.
We're under the 6-minute mark. 5:50 to go in the ball game. 69-58. It was 44-40 at the half. At one point in the first half, Kentucky had led by as many as 7.
You have to believe now that Tennessee will run off the majority of that 45-second clock each time down the floor unless they just get an excellent attempt immediately.
Give it back to Brooks. Why not? 32 points.
You couldn't fault the effort Davender gave that time.
Blackman's shot won't go. Locke tries the rebound and puts it up and in. Robert Locke with 8 points now, and it's back to an 11-point lead. 4:55 to go in the ballgame.
Right. I know that the home court advantage is We see another score, a couple better at home when they play on the road than Tennessee.
Well, they're averaging just a ton of points more at home than they do on the road. Don DeVoe said yesterday he thinks his team grows 2.5 inches per man when they play here. Yeah, it was not a tall team to begin with. And it'll be Kirk Naylor who draws this foul for the Volunteers of Tennessee. That's his fourth.
I'll tell you what, down the stretch here, too, Kentucky's doing a great job on the offensive board. Take a look at these, will you? The difference in the points per game they score at home as opposed to on the road, the field goal percentage, that's unbelievable. 11-0 at home, unbeaten here. He says they just do everything better, and he can't figure out why. Run better, jump better.
Winston Bennett will be at the line. 71-60 with 4:23 to go in the game. He's a perfect 4 of 4 for the day.
Well, that time, I don't know if you saw, Jenkins went away from the free throw lane after the ball had been given to Bennett, and that's a lane violation. Bennett won't even get a chance to attempt it.
Cedric Jenkins, number 55, has just come into the lineup for Kentucky. Into the corner and underneath, Jones, foul, Winston Bennett. With 13 points, he is the second man in double figures for Tennessee.
Oh, look at that. Oh, did he get away with the walk, maybe?
I think he did. Ed Davender picked off by Tennessee.
Oh.
Cody White.
What a turnaround right there.
Davender gets 2, and it's back to a 10-point lead at 73-63. The time is expiring quickly on the Kentucky Wildcats. 3:33 to go in the game.
That was the type of situation that you look for. Maybe a basket that might turn things around. A little bit of a breakaway, and Davender just lost the handle.
Now they'll use all of that 45-second clock for possible kill. Bob Jones. 15 points for Jones. Timeout, Kentucky.
Well, this was the play where Kentucky could have come down and cut it to 8. Davender just lost the handle. And right before this, when they missed the free throw, it bounced right past 2 Kentucky guys, right into a Tennessee player's hand. They're getting all the bounces.
Steve Grody, Kentucky had the hot hand from the field in the first half, but it's disappeared for them in the second half.
It's been their nemesis so often this season. 10 of 26 from the field in the second half, 38%. And I think what you've really seen has been the lack of the outside shooting from the guard position that has allowed those defensive guards of Tennessee to really sag back in on Kenny Walker. They've absolutely just left their men on a number of occasions and really bottled him up.
2:53 to go in the ballgame, 75-63.
Kentucky now with a much different lineup, a lot of quickness in there. Madison, Walker, Bennett, Bird here with the ball, and Andrews. They know that they have to come up with some defensive steals if they're going to have a chance in this one.
Leroy Bird at 5'5", playing for only the 6th time this year. And here's Tennessee's Tony White on the run with Bird guarding him. Well, when you think of the tiny guys in the country, you think of Sparta Webb, Tyrone Bogues and Leroy Bird, I guess, huh? That foul on Andrews. That's his first. And we're at the 2:10 mark, 75-63.
See Bob Burton along with head man Don DeVoe.
Brooks has 33 points for the game. The game-high record, by the way, for a Tennessee team was set by an old buddy of mine named Ron Whitney, who scored 50 here against LSU back in 1967. You know, Ray Mears, the ex-coach, is watching the game this afternoon, and Ron played for him back in '67. Later became a punter for the Dallas Cowboys, and also a golf pro. The only guy I know, 146 to go in the ball game.
Well, it would appear that Kentucky will leave this game with an even 4-4 record in the SEC. And what a log jam they've got. Once again, Mississippi State on top.
Bird will draw the foul. Now James Blackman, he's 5'5". Originally signed with the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, and attended a couple of junior colleges before coming here a year ago. And gets periodic appearances. Now Fred Jenkins back at the line. Nope. Walker with a rebound. Now Joe Hall said yesterday his team has not played well in the last 3 games. I'm sure he'll have that comment for number 4 today. Walker?
Well, except that he said, you know, the things that they have been doing well all year long, even though they hadn't been shooting well, were playing defense and rebounding. And today, I think they've played hard, they've hustled, they've played pretty decent defense and rebounded, but hey, they just haven't shot the ball in the basket. And I'd like to know what this team's record would be if they would just shoot 50% from the field.
Career high. That's 9 points for Tony White, who also has 6 rebounds in the game. There's Michael Brooks on the bench. 34, 24 in the first half. That's 3 men in double figures now for Tennessee, as Tony White has his 10th point of the game. Davender, that should be offense, it is. Myron Carter draws the foul. That's number 3. And the 13th turnover for Kentucky. 79-65. In the second half, Steve, Kentucky has turned it over 9 times to only 3 for Tennessee. Now Fred Jenkins gets the rest. As Sam Arterburn, a freshman from Paducah, Kentucky, number 12, has come into the game. Tony White. Bob Jones.
Well, they'll dribble it out now.
James Blackman draws the foul. That's his 5th.
Well, the jinx continues. 12 of the last 13, and it doesn't seem to matter what type of team Kentucky brings in here. Tennessee gets the best of them.
Arkin Thomas back in, and Rob Jones gets the rest with 15 points.
You know, a little unusual when you think about the SEC. How often do you see such a few number of SEC teams get into the top 20 that, you know, throughout the course of the season and it's happening this year? Just not really getting the respect around the country. I think it's a little bit of a down year. Certainly well balanced.
Well, I think that's part of the reason, too, Steve, is that they're killing each other off inside league competition. Now Tony White will head to the bench with 12 points. and we've got 30 seconds to go. Roger Harden, not there. But there was a whistle and a foul underneath.
It's going to be on Stacey Thomas. I think the real test for Mississippi State is going to come in the second half of the season when they have to face everybody for the second time. They've got a very well-balanced, everybody contributes type team, a lot of speed and quickness. Certainly as an underdog like that, you can sneak up on some people. They'll be tested second time around when they have to play everybody.
Don DeVoe goes in search of Joe B. Hall. The Kentucky Wildcats fall to 4-4 in the conference, 9-8 for the year. The Volunteers of Tennessee still undefeated at home. They are 14-6 in the 1984-85 season, as they defeat Kentucky with a very strong second-half performance by a count of 81-65. So it is all over here at Stokely Athletic Center in Knoxville, Tennessee. We'll be back with more in just a moment. Valuable players of the game for Kentucky, Kenny Walker with 23 points, so he's just 0.4 of a point above his season average for the game, and he really was, once again, pretty much a one-man show. And Michael Brooks of Tennessee with a career high of 34 points, 24 in the second half. A check in the amount of $1,000 will be donated by Chevrolet to each college's general scholarship fund to further assist qualified students in all chosen academic fields. We are back at Knoxville, Tennessee, and Steve Grody is standing by with Don DeVoe. Steve?
All right. Thanks, Vern. Don, you said jinxes were made to be broken, but for some reason, your team just seems to play so well against Kentucky down here.
Well, we've been playing well against everyone this year. I think that our basketball team here in Stokely Athletic Center really plays its best basketball, but that's not anything different for any college team in the country. We just happen to go out here at home and just really play with a lot of confidence, and for some reason through the years, we've been able to outplay Kentucky.
With this type of team, you don't have the one big scorer inside, and much to your credit, it's taken a little bit of flexibility on the coaching staff's part with this ball club.
Well, thank you. We're not a very big team. In fact, we're the smallest team in this area of the United States, but we make up for that lack of size and quickness. And, of course, we do have some good shooters. You know, we have 5 starters that are shooting 50% or better from the floor. They're all shooting about 70% or better from the free throw line. So we do have a lot of balance in our scoring, and we're just a pretty good offensive team.
You told me that earlier in the week that you thought your team had a ways to go defensively, but I thought today they did an outstanding job.
Well, thank you. I didn't think our first half defense was worth a dime. Kentucky scored 40 points, and in the second half we got a pretty good effort. And in particular, Kirk Naylor came in and did a great job on Walker. I thought that was really a very important part of the game. And of course, Kentucky didn't shoot the ball well from the perimeter. And when Rob Jones returned to the game, he really owned the defensive boards in the second half.
You had a couple guys come off the bench and contribute today.
Oh, no doubt about that. You have to have guys like Myron Carter and Kirk Naylor who will come into the basketball game and make big plays. Stacey Thomas got a little playing time, but this whole game story is Michael Brooks. Michael Brooks and his ability to shoot the ball from all the areas on the floor allowed us to keep in the game in the first half, and then in the second half, again, he made all the big offensive plays.
Don, we appreciate the hospitality. Best of luck the rest of the year. We're going to go to commercial, and we'll be back with Michael Brooks right after this. Center where Tennessee has defeated the Kentucky Wildcats 81-65. We're with Michael Brooks. Michael had a career-high 34 points today. Don DeVoe said that you didn't play very good defense in the first half. He was a little irritated at halftime in the locker room.
Yeah, he was pretty upset with us. Kentucky scored 40 first-half points on us, and we're not used to teams coming here and scoring 40 points in the first half, so he was really upset about it.
You had one of your outstanding offensive games. We want to have you take a look at a replay here. Describe this action if you can take a look at it.
Well, right there, I'm just trying to penetrate in and get the ball over the shorter player, which is Blackman that's playing it.
What is the secret as we watch another drive and I would assume a basket? You're able to get the shot off without the defenders really getting a chance to get up and block it.
Well, I work real hard on my release, and we have drills that we do for a quick release, and I just work real hard at getting the ball off real fast.
Now, what was the strategy in the second half? You came out to start the second half. They moved you down to the wing and in the corner of the offense. I thought it took you out of the area where you had been operating the best.
Well, in the past, I've been shooting pretty good out of the corner. We felt that I was hot at the time, and they just wanted to get the ball to me.
Well, congratulations once again. Outstanding ball game. Best
All
of
right.
luck the rest of the year.
Thank you. I'd like to say hi to my family, man.
All right.
All right.
Vern?
All right, Steve. Final score again, 81-65, Kentucky. By the way, we talked about Kentucky's field goal problems all year long. They shot only 34% in the second half and wound up 45% for the game. The executive producer of College Sports is Kevin O'Malley. Coverage of today's game was produced by David Dinkins, Jr.